Are you hitting your financial milestones? So you pay the bills, you save a bit of money, but you have no idea if you're on track for your age. It's a feeling I like to think of as financial fog. You're moving, but you can't see the finish line. Today, we're clearing the air. We're going to set 3 clear data-backed markers for your 30s and your 40s and then 50s. I was looking at the FCA Financial Lives 2026 updates and I've analysed them. We're going to look at what winning looks like in every decade of your life. I'm going to give you a specific number to track what is way more important than the bank balance. So we're going to look at our 2 little guys here now. We've got Gary and we've got Amina. Gary is 40. He works hard, earns well, and hopes it will all work out. He's like a hiker without a compass in the woods. He's exhausted, but he might just be walking in circles. Then we've got Amina, 32, and she earns less, but she's got a flight plan. She knows exactly where she wants to go. She's got a target and checkpoints, a 5-year plan, what she wants to do. So she isn't stressed about it, and her destination is giving her focus. In 2026, Gary hit a midlife financial crisis because he realized he had plenty of stuff but zero security, whereas Amina just hit her first milestone and she's pretty much stress-free. Levels have dropped, stress levels have dropped. We're going to check back on the checkpoints in a second here, but in your 30s is your foundation. And I looked at the Resolution Foundation Wealth Gap Report 25-26. So you need to have a milestone. The first milestone for your 30s will be, can you 1 times your annual salary in net worth? So the data is showing us by the age 35, the top 25% of UK earners have accumulated a net worth, cash and equity, assets, equal to their annual gross salary. If you earn £35,000 and your total world is worth £35,000, you have a solid foundation. But the focus here is going to be this decade isn't about getting rich. This is like your milestone 30s. It's about estimating and figuring out what's likely to come. Can we eliminate friction for our journey? If you enter your 40s with high interest consumer debt, you're starting the next race with a broken leg. You're already like, oh dear. But what about the 40s? Can we pivot if that does happen? The total wealth in Great Britain, age breakdown here, owns report. So if you can, the milestone is going to be 3 times your annual salary in net worth. So this is the decade where compounding should start doing the heavy lifting. The median net worth for 40 to 49-year-olds is roughly £190,000. However, high achievers sit at 3 times their income. This is like the danger decade for lifestyle creep. Data showing that 40-somethings spend more on non-essentials than any other age group. Winning in your 40s means widening the gap between what you earn and what you spend. Remember, we spoke in the last episode about making sure you're not living up with the Joneses and you're doing what's good for you and not what is perceived to be good by others. What about your 50s? There's a bridge here. So Pensions and Life Savings Association. This is where we're looking at data-wise. So there's a milestone. Can you 6 times your annual salary in net worth? To have a moderate lifestyle in 2026, roughly 25k a year in spending power, you need a significant bridge of assets by 55. The top tier of UK savers are sitting on 6 times their annual income. This decade is about accessibility. It's not just about having money. It's able to be touch it. Can you get it? If all the wealth is like a house you can't sell, you're equity rich and cash poor. If you got a really fancy car, if you spent a bit of money and put it into a bond or an ISA, how easily are you able to get it? Is it fixed? That's the bridge. But then the salary itself needs auditing as well. So I want you to be able to picture this. Let's see. So if you're the pilot for this flight, take your total net worth, cash, savings, equity in your home, all debts, divide that by the annual pre-tax salary. It's a bit of calculations there. See if you can do that in your head quickly. Are you at 0.5, 1.5, 4? If you are below the milestone for your age, don't panic. Just change your heading. The goal isn't to be perfect today. It's to make sure your multiple is higher next year than it is right now. So we can jump into these little categories separately. There's a social clock here which you can look at. So we feel like losing or losers if we don't run our own business by 30 or have a fancy car by 40 because of the social clock. What that does is just builds extra barriers in your way. In the 70s, there was loads of social clocks about what you need to do and, in the past. But in 2026, economy is different. Student debt is higher. Houses are more expensive. And we are living longer. The only person you are really competing with is the version of you 5 years ago and from you now. If you're hitting your salary multiples, you're winning the game, regardless of what the neighbor's driveway looks like. Remember the house iceberg effect we talked about very early on in this series. I feel like this is a key area here where the rule is your 30s, 40s, and 50s. Are you hitting your milestones? It's very interesting. Remember the Gary hiker I talked about earlier. So finally, looking at his neighbors and starting looking at his instruments, he realized he was at 0.5 times multiple at age 40. He sold the car, he cut the leaks, and in 2 years, he already had 1.2 times salary. He finally has a flight plan. Amina, the pilot, is already at 2 times her salary in her 30s. She's not working harder. She's not flying in the right direction. She's just planned for it and had the tools to be able to do it. Clear the fog, see the goal. And I'm hoping this gives you a rough idea to think a little bit differently. Looking at these reports, I've started varying how I think about things. And it's very interesting to get different views and opinions. So see the goal and clear the fog. I'm Zulf, and this is the money scorecard of the Zulf Talks podcast, Working for Yourself. I've been enjoying looking at some of these reports. We're on episode 12 now. And you know what? This has been a nice little framework episode for us. I think the next one we're going to look at the invisible wealthy. There's people out there we don't know about that are wealthy. How can we be one of them? What's one question you're stuck on right now? Contact me on zulftalks.com. You could drop me a message on Insta or email me there. If you want, you could even put your answer below this episode in the comment section. I read through every single one and it helps me shape the shows. So it'll be good to hear from you. It would be really good if you can leave a review wherever you're listening to this. The show resources are available at zulftalks.com. You can also sign up to the mailing list there, which will allow you to get information to help you on your journey working for yourself.
Working for yourself, I know you love it. Working for yourself, 'cause I love it too. Working for yourself, Zulf talks about it, making it easy for you. Working for yourself, Go be your own boss, working for yourself. Zulf will help you along, working for yourself. Powered by trusted creators, ZulfTalks.com.